Morning, good morning. Long the 20. Oh, the value low. Yeah, we'll see. Oh, I'm short 370. Could either go either way. But it's a good long where you have it. You up? I'm just playing off of the ES structure that we have from yesterday. I mean, regardless, this is a good bid where we're right. We looked above, we offered, that was a good short, rotation down into our upper balance low, right? Our ETHI, as well as our value low here. This is a great area to see if a bid is going to step in and then rotate us back up and then take this out, or if this is going to rotate below and then we're going to rotate through. Unsure. But as soon as we saw that failure and then that lower high, it was a great short for downside. That
By this
POC
going
up
now
in
to
that
begin
high.
the University of Michigan sentiment forecast 54 prior 55 spot 1. Current conditions forecast
But yeah,
60
this
prior
POC is good.
60 spot 4. Expectations forecast 51 spot 4 prior 51 spot 7. 1 year inflation expectations forecast unchanged from the prior 4.7%. 5 year inflation expectations also unchanged from the prior at 3.7%.
Just to give reference, like I'm out 15 contracts or 15 MNQ. I only have 5 left here. I'm mostly risked off. I'm unsure as well. Russell 30-second opening range, POC shift, ES bottom of balance, NQ value low. So like there's a lot to say that this is the low. Mm-hmm. Continuing up. I'm not sure yet, Bayu. Again, like I'm short from 370. I don't think that this is a bad long here at ETHI. If you're just gonna play like the rotation through this upper balance. But we have no clarity yet if buyers are going to be able to hold here or if this is going to be a lower high and then we're going to rotate below. Unsure as yet. A little early. I would say as long as we're trading above our 30-second opening range, which is right below us, that we are decently bullish on the day. My expectations are more so up than down as long as we're maintaining above that. That answers your question. Sub club.
Just a heads up, US Treasury Secretary Besant is speaking. Not sure where he's speaking, but we'll find out soon. If there is a video, we'll pop it on the feed. It's just Besant posting on X. He's talking about Argentina. Canada's PM Carney says that specific sectoral deals with the US will likely persist with the revised USMCA trade deal. One minute ago now, we'll lead with the sentiment.
Yeah, it's a great first risk off, man. Value to value. Like we have pathed on ES. Very similar on NQ. Right, we have to watch to see if these guys are going to remain offsides, or if from this move,
10 seconds.
right, we have two options. Like we come down and then we do this, maintaining our lower high, or we'll look for this to go bid, right, and then we'll look for
55 high in
the
the
hold as
forecast
our
of
value
54.
high for
Current conditions
continuation.
61 high in the forecast of 60. Expectations 51.2 lower than forecast of 51.4. Money inflation expectations 4.6% lower than forecast of 4.7%. 5-year inflation expectations 3.7% as expected. We have posted out the University of Michigan sentiment report on the feed for you to read through.
You know what I mean? Top of balance holds, offer remains. Look below. Let's see if the secondary can come in. If they can, then we can look for one more leg down. If not, then we'll just look for the same thing as before, which is we'll look below the higher bid, right? Our edge, and then the rotation up again. Either value shifts or it doesn't.
Yield on 10-year US Treasury notes hold to decline after University of Michigan data. Last down 5 basis points at 4.098%. Just inform House Speaker Johnson is starting a live briefing.
Sweet. We're still just waiting. Not much to do. Just in our balance. Just in the middle. Waiting for direction. I think Russell will probably lead, if I had to be honest.
So just a reminder with what's going on in France at the moment. You did have Macron that said that he would announce the next prime minister in the next 48 hours, about a couple of days ago. So he is having discussions today, and according to some sources, the deadline to name a new premier is due to expire later Friday tonight. But it's unsure whether there's a specific time for him to, or when he's going to announce the PM.
All right. See what they do here. Or look below. See if we can get a pretty solid offer and rotation through our lower balance, or if we're going to bid back through. Just following our downside pathing, right? Offer lowering. This is why we put that blue line on, just so that you have that as a reference point for the downtrend. Again, this is where we either offer or we'll rotate back through, trapping sellers into our low. We'll see. We've got a very clear and easy level to reference on NQ, POC above, right? Donna, what are you doing? I'm stopped on runners and watching this 40 on my short from 70. Watching to see if we can bid and hold here now. This 20 to 30. We can bid and hold here. Should be able to rotate up. If we get back below 20 and offer, I'll look to short again and then play that as our resistance.
Seeing here, US Treasury prepares exceptional measures to safeguard market stability. According to website, Tesla's standard Model Y priced at 39,990 euros in German market. As regards to that US Treasury headline, looks to be old news just being circulated again. So this is about Argentina. So again, it's old news being circulated again on the Newswise here.
Oh my god, get me out of here. Choose a direction. Oh boy, we're starting this early today, aren't we? Like, what's going on? Why is it only the chart that We're just watching to see if this zone here can hold as supportive, or if we flip it for a rotation through down to 270 from our 320, or if this is going to hold and maintain and we can get over 390 for upside continuation. Just balance right now, right? We either maintain in our upper balance or we'll rotate through our lower balance on both ES and NQ. Just gotta be patient here. So far, low's holding, but we're just waiting. Very two-sided. Long bias until we flip and hold. But once we do, then it's very clear that the offer is going to get like pretty accelerated if we fail up here. So if we flip pivot, we should see a rotation through pretty quick. Just from the lack of the bid willing to hold, right, will lead to sell side taking advantage and then pushing it down aggressively. What I'm looking for is on chart. Glad I can help. No problem. Offer getting pretty heavy here. We get back over 30 and they
Tech
kind of like
Resources
lost
is in discussion to supply key defense minerals to Canada and the US, according to the Financial Times. Negotiations about the possible supply by Tech of germanium and antimony and gallium.
If this sell block at this 320 to 340 can't actually do anything useful, like they're just gonna get punished so hard. We gotta get below this and hold. If there's no interest below 20s and we pop back over 30 to 40, like we just go up. I don't know what else to say. Like the sell side needs to be. They need to sweep through 20. If this bids, it's gonna get real rough for sellers. Like on the open of this new 15 and 20 seconds, this needs to look below 320 if we're going to go down at all, in my opinion. Or this is going to, like, up. There's just no interest below this, which is fine, right? But, like, don't short it then. We need to see that look below and hold.
We have posted out the FT article again on the feed. Tech Resources in talks to supply key defense minerals to Canada and the US. Tesla's Model Y standard in Germany will be available November to December 2025, according to Tesla's website.
China's Commerce Ministry says US fees on Chinese ships hurt Chinese firms' interests. China Commerce Ministry says China strongly opposes these fees. China's Commerce Ministry says China's countermeasures are legitimate defense actions, and we hope the US to correct wrong practice.
Oh my god, get me out of here. Is my entire time today gonna be just us sitting here? This is high or low better hold, man. Get me out.
Macron's meeting with party leaders is over as politicians and Italier seen leaving the palace. That's according to Elise.
What's up, Ty? You win anything? Hell yeah. Poker is like a really easy way to be like, does it make sense to trade here or not, right? Like it's the same thing of like folding. Like, do I actually have edge here or no? Right? Like if you think about it in like in those terms, it can help a lot, I guess. Think about how many hands you don't play, you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly, right? If you think about it like that, then it's like, oh, of course. I'm only going to be putting money into the center, right? Or betting or
Head of
calling
Francis
on
in the
things that I think I can
political group
win.
says after meeting with Macron, we do not expect parliamentary dissolution and expects a new prime minister in the coming hours.
Okay. Well, there's our sweep. Fuck me. As long as this leads to actual continuation, I won't be too sad. But Jesus Christ.
Trump on Truth Social says China is becoming very hostile. So Truth Social says some very strange things are happening in China. They're becoming very hostile and sending letters to nations throughout the world. They want to import export controls on each and every element of production having to do with rare earths and virtually anything else they can think of, even if it's not manufactured in China. Seeing some downside movement on the S&P 500 again off the back of Trump's Truth Social post there. So again, Trump says China is
Holding
becoming
our
very
lower
hostile
balance. As long as we're
and
holding that, I'm
calculating
fine.
increased tariffs on
Maybe they'll watch
Chinese
for this.
imports. The Chinese letters were especially inappropriate. China made a sinister move with rare earth controls. Trump says many countermeasures under consideration on China.
I got stopped on my ES at 790 and then flipped at
Trump says I've not spoken to
6 or
China's President
780,
Xi.
and I've taken off
Again,
2 here to
Trump
cover for the
says
stop.
that calculating increased tariffs on Chinese products and Chinese letters were especially inappropriate. And many countermeasures under consideration on China. Again, downside movement on the S&P 500 off the back of this Truth Social there.
Looking for continuation now.
Also, Trump says we might be forced to financially counter China's move.
Yes, lots of news. You need to unmute the news bot, Rory.
So seeing the Nasdaq 100 falling 0.8% after Trump's China comments.
Those zeros are
Summarize,
people getting
Trump
stopped
threatens
out,
massive
man.
increase of tariffs on Chinese goods.
I have 1 runner left on ES. I might just take it, to be honest. I mean, this is $2,000 on this contract here on ES.
So Trump also said in his Truth Social, I was to meet China's President Xi in 2 weeks. Now seems no reason to do so.
Oh my god. We're back to here. This is a super important area on NQ. Kind of on ES as well. This like 720. See what happens. The bid's resting here. I mean, I just don't know if like our local levels are gonna
CMV
hold
Philadelphia
if like there's
Semiconductor Index falling
actual
2%.
news. That's the problem. Yeah, I'm out.
The Treasury's today's highs.
I'll look to get
after
back
Trump
in if I see
threatened
something
tariff
else.
hikes on China.
Just posting this for people who aren't on Discord. So was long. It doesn't look like it makes sense anymore because of how volatile this is, but stopped, and then we rotated down off of it. So I've made back the money, but that felt bad. We probably have one more leg down to this 700, but I gotta see what happens here at 720.
Soybeans extend loss as Trump vows higher levies on China goods.
They're just single contracts. Here, I can go to like a 1 second chart so that you can see it and it's full. The old 1 second chart.
Seeing German bonds extend rally, 10-year yield down 6 base points at about 2.64% off the back of Trump's comments on Truth Social.
I was just playing with the sweep once we saw that there was follow through. All. We talked about like what happens if we actually push below that. All these people above get offsides, so then it's like, okay, well, let's just play with the directional bias then.
Seeing the euro last up 0.27% on the day, and the euro gaining as head of France's Lyot political group says they expect new PM in the coming hours. Also, of course, of the back of the news that we had with Trump's Truth Social post also having an effect as well. US Treasury yields extend decline after Trump comments on China. Yield on 10-year Treasury note last down about 7.3 base points at about 4.075%.
Here, there's a 1 second chart of it. It's not too crazy. Okay, this image is way too large. It's bad. Feeling pretty good about our take profit so far at 20. Just watch this distribution. We should balance down here for a bit, and then we'll decide next leg direction. I would assume with trend, right? Nothing yet is telling us that this is a bid. So we'll just watch to see how we build this out, and then it'll be like a consolidation, and then we'll look for another leg down, would be my guess. This is why stops are so important, right, Ben? So like I just get stopped out off of my risk off, right? Like I have a limit set, and then I wait for the offer to then finish. You can see that I only take that trade once the sweep goes down, and then I see the offer lowering with no bid, and then I take it. And then we keep going down. Because we know like either the bid holds there or like we're just royally fucked. Like we've been balancing here for a while, so like something's going to happen soon, and it's either going to be sellers punished or buyers punished. And as soon as we sweep through with news, now you have a double catalyst. You get what I mean? Where you have
Seeing the dollar index falling to days low on Trump's comments.
You have offside buyers, right? So you have people who are going to be liquidated or stopped out, which causes that sweep through. But you also have algo news catalyst, right? Which is people are now selling and the algos are selling based off of the news. So that's also creating momentum.
US stock index.
So if we can punish both and we see follow through, then it's like, okay, let's play with that trend. But if we don't see follow through after the initial sweep, then you want to be playing the reversal and the pop back up. Because if it's just a short cover and we don't have follow through from news, then we expect that those people who got stopped are going to be punished and will come back up to their average to recover the sweep, right? Because it's a lack of structure. So we expect that to be filled. But if we have follow through, right, we have multiple catalysts and we see follow through from them, then we can play in the direction of it. Does that make sense? Or no? Right, like if it was just people getting liquidated off of a sweep down, and then we don't see if we don't see a secondary seller step in to continue that trend down, then we would expect that to be
now,
fully recovered, and then either
down 1.1%.
Either sellers attempt again at the same point where they swept through.
So again, European government bond yields extending
fill structure.
Germany's 10-year yield now down about 6 basis points at about 2.64%. France's 10-year yield down about 7 basis points at about 3.46%. Gold.
This guy's gonna yap a lot.
$4,000 an ounce after Trump's comments on China.
But yeah, so basically, like, if it's just a sweep through and it's a news candle and we don't see secondary participants step in, then we expect that news candle will be retraced if we see a steady bid at the lows of the move, right? Just expect like a structural fill to fill the LVN that we just created by the sweep down. But if we see sellers step in and we see news continuing to come in, then we expect that then we will have follow through and we'll have a secondary leg on our sell, and then we can play off of that. So it's really just like understanding what's happening and then playing with that. That's all. Once we get stopped out and we already have an idea set of like what that means for the market, if we do push below that level, it's fine to play with that kind of bias in mind, because we'll stop out if we push back over our original entry again anyways.
Golden
right?
Dragon China index falling 2.6%
we pushed below
since August 27th.
We pushed below our 30-second opening range, so like I
CME
have
Metals
to kind of play off of that.
Reached all-time daily volume record on October 9th.
Now we're just rotating our 720 to 750, it looks like. We've got a sweeper above 750 that we could push into, but that should hold, I think. I think what's going to end up happening is RTY is just going to come back up to VWAP, and then we'll all slap down again, and then we'll continue. Just expect that this is a range trade with downside continuation afterwards once
According
this
to
has figured
Tom
itself out.
Devilliers from France's Ecologist Party, says we have left the meeting with Macron without any answers.
That is my guess. So annoying. Hour a chop so that we could get stopped. And then the move can happen in 30 seconds and then chop again. Lovely. Did I take a heavy stop? Not really. I mean, you can see it. I posted it in the screenshot.
From France's Ecologist Party says we have left the meeting with Macron that the next Prime Minister will not be from our camp.
I mean, heavier than I would want to have taken, you know what I mean? But like, I don't want to ever get stopped. Here's my stop, Rory.
The EU plans a new proposal with the US to implement a trade deal.
You see what I mean? Like, it is what it is. I mean, we lost like 600 bones, but then we immediately were able to capture on the other side. Yeah. You see what I mean? Like, it'll be all right. It's like if you run stops and have structure to play around, the losses are just part of it, you know? The business expense. Yeah, and a single candle, bro. Feels bad. The reason I say it feels bad is because I know 95% of you missed this, right? So now it's just like we sit here again for another volatile move that
Tom
people don't
Dallier
want to
from
trade.
France's Ecologist Party says Macron told party
My
leaders
God.
he was ready to delay further application of the pension reform, but that's not enough.
Me making money isn't helpful. That's why it's like, okay, cool. But that sucks. These moves are too fast for me to narrate. Yeah, that's so scary, man. Tradeify didn't have any issues. Sucks that Quant did. Do you pay for both feeds, data-wise? Just in case? Alright, that's good. I
Further
mean,
detail
I don't
into
know
the
about that,
European
Ben.
Union headline. The European Union work with the US on a fresh plan to enact the next phase of their trade deal, aiming to sideline Washington's proposal that the bloc unwind regulations Trump has long derided, according to people familiar with the matter. So, according to Francis Tondillier, says that I don't expect Macron to name premier from the left.
Yeah. And also, like, you don't want to have that
Shares
mentality.
of chipmaker AMD down 4.9%. CBO volatility index hits more than 1 month high, last up 1.99 points at 18.42.
It's going to be so hard to talk with this guy yapping today. You don't want to have that mentality because 90% of the time,
Macron said that he could delay French pension age increase.
we just do nothing, right? So, like, if you're always sitting there waiting for a move to potentially happen, it's gonna really, it's not worth your time. Like, we had an idea of what would happen if we failed up there, right? And like, you can play around that knowledge and have an alert set or something like that for continuation. But like, hoping for something like that, like, I didn't expect this, right? I got stopped out as well, but like, my follow through was good. But like, that isn't something that I would recommend you taking as someone who's newer to this, right? Like, that you could have gotten blown up right there if you don't know how to properly initiate and play off of it. So like, even if this move played and you were on the wrong side of the trade, like, you're really, you could be screwed on both sides, right? You get stopped out, and then if you don't know how to play the follow through, then you also could get screwed on the pushback up if you don't see that secondary seller, right? Because like, we fully expect that if that secondary seller doesn't step in, that we fully retrace that move, and everyone who shorted the secondary move is going to then get punished before we continue downward, right? So it's one of those things where like, these big moves look like something that are regrettable that you didn't take.
Now down 0.4%.
But again, like, if you don't know what you're doing, this is where you blow up on both sides of a winning trade, if that makes sense, because of how volatile it is. It's outside of your risk parameters. Your 10-point stop means literally nothing, right? When we're rotating in 200 points. So if it's not within your risk parameters for what you're willing to trade, like, these moves, even in the chop and volatility, can be huge and can be outside of your parameters. So it's just like, always think about that as well. Like, yeah, it sucks, but it's like the same thing as like looking at an FOMC day. But if you don't know how to play an FOMC day, like, you should just avoid it altogether, because you're more likely going to lose money than make money on an FOMC day playing volatility when you're not used to it. Even though the moves are larger, maybe you get lucky, right? And you're on the right side of the trade and you play it down and you hold.
Trump suggests increasing
But you're
tariffs
more
on
than
Chinese
likely
products imported to the US.
going to blow up. The odds just aren't
Best
in your
Buy and
favor.
American Eagle down about 4%.
Because there's no edge. You don't know where the price is going to go. You're not the one that's pushing the market up or down, right? And so you're at the whims of a very illiquid, very volatile market and the people who are actually moving it. Rather than when we have full structure and we have very strong pivots to play around, then you have much more edge. It's just, it's all, again, it's very easy to be like, oh, I should have played this, I should have done this, I should have done that. And it's like, the should haves are great if you can find edge and risk that makes sense.
After Trump's comments on China, Alibaba down 2.5%, PDD Holdings down 2.8%, NetEase down 1%, Baidu down 4.7%,
but like, if
JD.com down 4.3%, and Neo down 7%.
If you can't even find an entry when you go back and look, then like, it wasn't a trade, right? Like, it's just an emotional look.
Down 1%. Also seeing
And that's kind of what I'm
iShares
trying to get at.
MSCI China ETF down 3.5%, and iShares China Large Cap ETF down 3%.
Bro, China does not care about their stocks going down. It's not like our market.
Free trade agreement with China at the beginning of 2026.
Chinese stock market does not matter. How many times do I have to say that? Like, China just did that to themselves, fully understanding that this was going to hurt the US market. We don't care. It's not like the United States market at all.
Swiss foreign minister says progress on modernization of free trade agreement with China are constructive.
China can drop bombs like that all the time to affect the US economy, and it doesn't hurt them whatsoever. All right. Well, we just took out that VPOC. Let's see what we do now. I'd like to be able to like actually get us a solid entry. Again, I risked off at 720. We are pushing below now. We're at 700. This was our next target. This is the VPOC here.
Swiss foreign minister says we attach a great importance to strategic dialogue with China and to modernizing our free trade agreement.
POC is sitting at that 720 on this candle on the 15.
US short-term interest rate futures rise as traders add to bets on Fed rate cuts. Germany's 10-year bond yield set for the biggest daily decline since July. UK 10-year yield set for the biggest daily decline since April. Swiss foreign minister says the next cycle of free trade discussions will happen in China next year.
Nah, sadly not. I'm hoping that on my once I'm like settled into my new place or that I'll be able to record on both. I'm gonna try to set up a streaming PC as well as a trading PC so that I can do both. But I can't run two sets of OBS while I'm recording for the stream while also recording on another monitor. But I'd like to be able to set up a dual PC setup. That's my goal. Yeah. Because if I can capture like multiple monitors at the same time, that would be sick. So I'm gonna try to figure that out. It'd be really nice for class as well on Monday. Because like even if I'm just streaming my my Tradeify instead of like trading view, like it's not helpful because I'm not actually transacting. Like it would be just like maybe the DOM I could do. I don't know. But I still want like trading view charts up because that's what I'm trading off of.
Also, Bitcoin being affected by the news as well. Currently down by about 1.87%.
And you like the way that I have my setup is that my DOM is on my fourth monitor. My Tradeify charts are on my first monitor. My trading view charts are on my third monitor. And Discord, YouTube chat, news, all of that is on my second monitor. So like it's not even on a singular monitor to stream. Like my Tradeify setup is probably
last up over 1% at about 4,000
like 1.5 monitors.
Which are like an ounce.
35 inches or like yeah, they're like ultra wides. So like it's impossible to stream because the way that you'll see it, like I stream on this monitor because it's the closest to 1080 like aspect ratio. But if I put it on my ultra wide, then it looks like Mario's, right, where it's like super mini. The resolution is too high because it's at their 2K monitors. and it's also ultra wide. So like it's so like the text and resolution is just way too high for streaming. So I have to figure out a way to like, maybe what I could do is I could, I don't know. I'll think about it. It's something that I definitely would like to figure out. Yeah. Like I could, instead of doing monitors, I could block out individual areas to target instead. But I have to figure that out. It's something I haven't really looked into.
China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi says we agreed to consolidate mutual political trust with Switzerland.
Yeah, and that's like one of the, it's the problem. It's why I don't stream on my main monitor, because it's, you guys like actually can't see anything. That was the issue when I was running the stream on Discord, is like my resolution was way too high and you guys like literally couldn't read the numbers because of the quality was lower and my resolution was too high. And so I couldn't even stream at like source because of how grainy it would become when I moved my mouse at all. Like if it was stagnant and I wasn't doing anything on screen, and it was fine. But as soon as I like tried to draw or move my mouse at all, like it became illegible. Which is
Chinese
why we
Foreign
switched to
Minister Wang
YouTube
Yi
and I
says
switched my
both parties are
monitor
accelerating
setup.
efforts to optimize the free trade agreement.
I don't know. There's got to be a solution. I just need to figure it out.
Rousseau from France's Communist Party says after a meeting with Macron, he expects Macron to speak in the coming hours.
I think maybe investing in a second PC and then just having one PC specifically for the stream with TradingView, and then having one PC specifically for personal recording and Tradeify.
Gap between French and German 10-year yields now slightly wider on the day at 83 basis points.
Face down. That is kind of crazy. I've never seen that before. I'm more concerned about that middle monitor, bro, than your PC. Did I? That's funny. I don't even remember. That middle monitor is crazy.
Rousseau from France's Communist Party says if Macron names someone from his camp for Prime Minister, we can't accept it.
I think we're going to get another bounce at 750. Like 750, 760 here. And then we'll look to play this range. I'm guessing that this is going to be kind of a liquid area.
Dow Jones,
we'll see.
Down 1%.
I'd like to be able to play a reoffer. I'm doing a little yapping here after this trade. I'd like to see what we do here. And then I don't think this is going to be a bid. I think this is just going to be where we consolidate for a bit. And then we'll look for a secondary leg down, potentially. Just going to mark it like this, so that we have a reference point. I don't think chop. I think just a little bit of relief and then a reoffer and then continuation. But we'll see. Again, like we're in like very news driven trend. So I don't know how like good my levels are going to be or my reads right now. But the overall trend is down, right? So what I'm only really looking for is like, do we come in, reoffer this sweeper and then step through? Or is this just going to be the relief I was looking for, and then sell side is just so strong that it doesn't matter, and then we continue down, which might be the case, which means that I don't have an entry, which would suck. 750 was a good level, but now we have to wait and see what happens here. And again, remember, less size, larger stops if you're going to be trying to play in volatile trend. Bigger size, smaller stops are just not going to work. Because even chop right now is going to be 20 points instead of 10. You get me? Like our chop areas on a singular candle are 20 points. So like take my levels with a grain of salt because you need to be thinking a little bit more volatile. But this is what we're watching right now.
Japanese yen rises 1% to session high. Just a heads up, China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi speaking at the moment. Philadelphia SC Semiconductor Index falls 4.2%.
Dude, my Dom will not stay focused. This sucks. Hello? They gotta patch that, man. Like, why do we not have an auto-focusing Dom on Tradeify yet? Like, what are we doing? Living in the Stone Age over here.
Australian dollar drops 1% against the US dollar after Trump's remarks. Brent crude futures fall more than $2 a barrel on the ceasefire agreement. And of course, you have the Trump headline.
My Dom just lagged
so
so bad it's closed my trade. Hello? It's cool. It's just like when I flip from one product to another, it doesn't auto center. I guess that hotkey would be good. But I just like switched, I flipped from my ES to my NQ Dom, and it was like up there still, like, you know, like 300 points up. I like continuously scroll down. Just annoying when I'm like looking for a trade immediately.
US stocks extend fall. Nasdaq Composite down 2.3%.
Okay, this is a good offer so far at 740 on the flip of our 750 pivot that we were talking about, right? It's 40 to 80 really is the area. This is a good reoffer though from where that bid was resting and now offer holding. See what we do. It's getting a little crazy volatility wise.
UK, France, and Germany seek to restart nuclear discussions with Iran. This is UK, France, Germany issuing a joint statement on Iran discussions.
I'm looking to play around this 750, 78. This offer is either going to hold pretty clearly or we'll flip and then we'll rotate down. So I'm just going to be watching this and then let's see what happens. It is trying to absorb into this 40 to 50, but if offer can flip it, I think it's so. Very important that we see this bid try to maintain here. I think I short on any look below 730 and hold. If we continue to just chop here, there's nothing, right? It's a buy. Fire and control, but if we can look above and then look below and then look down, that'll be good.
French Socialist Party for says we have not had any clear answer from Macron to our concerns. Foray adds that for now, no answer from Macron regarding our concerns over pension reform.
Volatility is crazy. You see how thin the DOM has been? Are you watching that at all? You see the difference in liquidity now during this move? You see how thin each price level is, where it's only like 1 to 2? And then like the levels that actually have any liquidity are basically what we were trading before per contract, right? It's like 10, 12. Yeah, exactly. So like that is a good sign that you should be expecting very volatile, very price movement, and that you need to have a wider stop because of how illiquid each price level is, right? They're so thin that like you shouldn't be like the levels shouldn't be respected on that micro of a how do I word that? We don't expect anything to
Copper
hold
falls
because there isn't enough
2.9%
liquidity
on
for that
enemy
level
as
to
Trump
hold, right?
threatens new China
If
tariffs.
someone's trying to get filled on 12 contracts and there's only one trading on each price point, or 2 or 3, right? We have to go through multiple price points to get that guy filled, right? Makes sense. So as soon as like large participants step in, they sweep through price levels because of the lack of liquidity.
The S&P 500 extends decline to 1.6%, the Nasdaq 100 down 2.2%.
This is still very two-sided. If sell side can step in here, though, could potentially see a sweep through. Got to see this look below 30 and hold. Could hold at our highs. Why are you guys so obsessed with that?
BLS says that BLS will publish the September 2025 CPI on Friday, October 24th,
Listen,
2025 at
if
8:30 a.m. Eastern Time.
Tradeify is good
So
enough for
again,
Mario
CPI
and I,
data to be published
he'll be
October
all right.
24th,
Promise
2025
you.
at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So again, reminder, next week we were supposed to be getting the CPI data. That's been pushed to October 24th. Seeing the Russell 2000 index falling 2%.
Dude, this volatility is nuts. Battle at our 30 here. Which way it goes. This guy down at like 700, 710, a little stuffed. If you can pop through 90 and hold, I'm much more inclined to believe upside short term, but I'll wait and see. I'm not really looking to long unless you're playing like, you could play like a 30 bid with risk at like 715 for 15 points, but the likelihood of you getting stopped out is probably like 60%. But that's the only long that I see. Unless we pop over 90, and then you can play that up to probably 860. But right now your risk is like 15 points, 15 to 30. And then your first risk off here is 790. And then if we bid 790, again, 860 would be next target for me. If you aren't good with fast-paced trading, don't even touch it. Don't even touch it. Like what I'm saying right now are like basically like dom trades of like understanding the recovery, right? So like this is that 15 to 30 area I was just talking about. This is your risk for that little move for the pop through. These, what are we seeing here? It's a look back into this little mini balance, right? So it's this node here. And then you're playing back up to this offer here at 790. So unless this is going to hold as resistance, then it's just a recovery of this offer that was here and the flip to a supportive bid. And as long as that's maintaining, right, then you get the rotation back up to 790. That's just like a very clear balance trade to me on in the current auction that we're doing. And then if like 790 flips, then we should be able to look up into like 860, 840 kind of being primary. But like if you aren't comfortable taking like these very short, quick trades for big points with 15 points of risk, like don't just wait. It's not your market. But like understand that you could be trading like 2 micros right now and still be making hella money. Like this is a lot of points. So like you don't need to be trading full minis right now to feel like you're making money. Like we're talking about 15 points of risk for still, you know, like 50 points of upside on NQ. Like it's huge. And then there's your secondary move here into 860 off of 790 flip, right? So like now you've captured the entire thing. Even with micros, this is
French
huge.
Socialist Party's for there's no guarantee
Yeah.
from us that we won't vote down the next government.
It's just like understanding like again, I mean, if we can flip 900, then there's another move, but this should be kind of your risk off until proven otherwise. We flip 900s and we recover Russell value, then we're cooking. All right, I will be right back. I'm sorry. I gotta pee.
US rare earth miners extend gains after Trump's tariff warning to China. Seeing MP
Bro said
materials
I'm
up
euphoric.
10.2%. US United States anatomy up 18.1%, and US rare earth up 13.7%.
And then like
Also,
understand like this is that
US
900,
listed
right? It's
shares
a
of
POC to
Trilogy
value high
Metals
here
up 3%.
into that node edge. It makes sense why that's our sell. And now you'll look to see if like we can bid here at this low, right? Hold this LVN. This becomes a new pivot. You can play around. And then let me do levels for ES because I'm kind of not fair that I didn't same thing for this. Watch this. Sorry, it's very hard to try to manage multiple indexes while still trying to trade. But I am doing my best. Go. Yes, can do here. And again, like this is a 10-point area almost on NQ. 75 to 80. Right? Like this is huge, but like this is our pivot. And so this is why
Russia's
what I mean by
Medvedev
like
held discussions with
your
North Korea's
areas
Kim
of
Jong-un
risk are a
contrary
bit
news.
larger, but like the moves are also a bit larger, even though it looks we're range bound, right? But like compared to what we were doing earlier, these ranges are huge. They're big moves compared to earlier. Like if we look at this action right now, which looks, you know, like relatively choppy, but still directionally pushing. This is what our action looked like earlier today, just to give like perspective, right? Like this is the shit that we were watching earlier. Like this is our move that we were looking for. This is what we're doing now in these little moves. Are like larger, these ranges that we're looking to be playing right now are larger than our entire moves from this morning. It's like it's all relative. Yeah, nice job, man. And I guess I'd take off one risk here from our pivot at 8, just in case we make a lower high and can't get over. Sit in one here. There's our push to 700s. Let's see if we can flip this edge, boys. This is important. It's our value edge on the day, right? Beautiful trade from our hold of our value from our lower balance. Rotation up, bid, then push in. We need to then show interest over this if we're going to continue higher, or this is, again, just a risk off. It's the same thing on ES. It's the same trade. Our 820 flip, which is our value low. We rotated from value high to value low, retested it,
task,
saw that this was
Russia's
supportive, rotated
Medvedev
up
and Kim
into our
Jong-un
about high
discussed
again.
Russian-North Korean
See if we
cooperation.
can bid above. Right, what we're watching for is from this hold of our low, can we show any interest above or upside, or is this going to continue to kind of just chop around? Unsure, but that should be clear on both ES and what we've drawn. Hopefully that makes sense. Posts like this are so weird, man. Like, no, someone didn't figure it out. It's called corruption. Like, what do you mean? As soon as you incentivize people to make money on things like this, of course people are going to then bet on things that they know the answers to and make money. Like, the poly market isn't figuring it out, right? It's people who are corrupt with zero regulation to enforce and to figure out, like, how do they knew that information. Yeah, I don't know. That's so annoying. Like, what a fluff piece.
According to a report on X, House Dems have a phone call at 12 p.m. Eastern Time to learn if leadership wants them all in DC next week, though the House itself isn't scheduled to come back. The reporter is told the possible return is Tuesday and then leave Thursday.
Tuesday.
And just reminding that that of course is ahead of the first missed full paycheck.
You get what I'm saying, Surf? Like, what do you mean? Like, we know as soon as you introduce the ability to bet on things that you know about, like, who isn't going to do that? There's no predictive element there. Literally corruption. Like, what are we talking about? Like, what? It's like when the green dildo was being bet on. Like, the dude throwing the dildo is betting. Like, what do you mean? Like, what? Like, are we serious? Oh yeah, no, I'm making my money and running. I'm piecing out when Mario gets on. Are you kidding me? Hell no. And I figured out my internet. We've got that the modem, router, all that coming in tomorrow, Saturday, and then I move Sunday. Feels good. I'll have internet. Bro, I'm not playing New World. You're funny. Not leveling up a character again. You're crazy. I've spent more time leveling up characters in that game than actually playing endgame.
So there should be in about a couple of minutes when the House Democrats have a phone call to learn if leadership wants them all in DC next week, although the House itself isn't scheduled to be back.
According to the Argentine government, OpenAI and Surd Energy signed a letter of intent for up to $25 billion data center project in Argentina.
See if this can flip back off of a failure to push below POC of previous candle. Or sorry, above this range. We're watching to see if this reclaim can happen here. Watch Russell as well at our value edge. Getting a little volatile here. I want to just see how this this can be an effective rebid for a higher low here from our previous seller. Now supportive bid, or if we're trapping here. I don't have the answer for you yet. I'm just watching. See if we can do this. What we know is that there's someone who's a bit offsides up into like 880 on NQ, and if that guy continues to persist offsides and we can't really show any interest above, then we could have some issues. Open a new 15 here, in my opinion. But like if we can hold this 790 and then take out that 880 and bid, I think upside feels pretty good. But if offer holds here and then they try to sweep us down, and this becomes our pivot here at 90, I think the downside move makes more sense. So it's just a little two-sided right now, but I'm just watching to see how we play around this guy who's up here off of the POC. You can see on this high, and then we're watching what happens here because I expect that we'll get a relief bounce regardless. That'll give us a nice reoffer actual line. I basically just want to see how we interact because right now we know that this seller has taken advantage of this and is pushing us down. We see the sweep that just stepped in here at 820. I'm thinking that we'll probably get something that looks like this. If we push down into 760, we should see a slight bid and then a retest into 90 and a rotation down. From here, I don't know if we immediately just pop through or if we'll have to retest this offer again for a lower high. I'm not sure. We just have to wait and see. This is what I would be looking for if this continues to fail and we can't get over this guy above. What I'm watching for upside is, can we start to build a higher low very clear here? And then can we take out this guy here? And then I'm getting very excited if we can start to build over this for the long into this tail. Because if we can play this for 80 points in a single move, that would be awesome. But I'm like fully aware that if like this pivot fails and that guy's offsides above into 80, and then we push below and then offer and then rotate here, that this is then going to cycle or rotate through back down to like here, which is, you know, it's still a good rotation. But we'll see. The bid is like pretty clear at 670. No, yes, like 600 contracts on there. See what I mean? 760 bid. Now we watch our 790. So this is your first risk off if you took a long there. We look for an offer to be here to try to slam us down if it's going to do it. So you can either have a stop break even from the long at 760, or you could be looking for this offer here for this rotation down, following our pathing like we just talked about. You see? And it's the same thing, right? Like 790, your first risk off is 760. Just depends on what side you're playing. Like it's very clearly two-sided here, but the winner will either be the pop over 820 and hold, or the push into our 715 for the 80 points. What do you mean go back to your character? I thought all of our characters got deleted when they changed it into like the Xbox version or whatever. That's what Mario said. That's why he re-leveled characters, I thought. That's why I never played the game again. Is because all of our stuff was gone. Is that not true? I'm almost positive that's what happened, is they did like a full re-roll. That's why I never played, man. After the 'cause, yeah, I don't know. Hmm. I mean, maybe they didn't. I don't know. I thought they did. Oh, okay. So all of the old characters got put on something called a legacy server. And then all of the new servers, um, there's like fresh start servers with the Xbox people. So everyone moved to those. So that's what happened. I mean, that's good, but I'm not playing. I hope the game survives. I don't know. I mean, you guys still play Destiny, which blows my mind. So you guys are like full cope, in my opinion. But if you're having fun, that's what matters. Destiny and New World are like the biggest cope games I've ever seen. See, like I'd buy Battlefield, but I just don't know like how much time I'd actually put into it. Like, isn't it gonna get boring after a while doing the same? I don't know. Like the beta was fun, but like, didn't I just play all of the content? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Citi to join group of European banks developing euro stablecoin.
But like the Battlefield, I'd buy if that's gonna be the case, because I don't need like an MMO. Like I can't put the time in right now. Like it just doesn't make sense, and I'm not gonna regrind a character to be miserable. Because you guys are gonna be like max level within 2 days, and then I'm gonna log in and then have to level by myself, and that'll feel awful. So like that's an easy just no from me. But Battlefield, like I don't care. I'll log in and feed in your game and won't care. Mm-hmm. See if we can flip this 20, boys, or if this is gonna hold and then push back below 90 for offer. There's been no change in our pivots here, but we need to see these are going to settle. 2.5 minutes left on these candles. EOC currently sitting at 790 and NQ on our pivot. This current candle. Need to see the step above, like we have path for upside, or this is just going to be another failure and then look back through. The battle at 20 is crazy. Look above, fail, look below. Now watching to see if this is going to hold on flip. Rotation through. Similar thing. We're watching on S for follow through ideally. Watch our 790. We push in for reoffer. And then rotate down off 760 and then watching 790, 780 or 790 to 800 basically. Could go up all the way to 810 and it would still be valid, but I'd like to see 790, 800 hold. Again, first risk off here into 760 for mid range, and then 730, 750 for bottom of range. It very clearly still sitting here at 760, just talked about. You need to see this offer hold here. We're going to continue down. Yeah, I don't think we get clarity until Russell starts to lead, to be honest. But there's very clearly someone willing to take in on here, but that goes both ways. I don't know. I don't think we have like true clarity until we show interest over 880, 890. And then like that would even just be a rotation up to VWAP for a reversion trade. Like that's not even like, you know, like quote unquote bullish, but it still would be big range. I don't know, I probably get stopped here over 800 on my runners. Later, man. Good rest of your day. Good weekend.
Moody's ratings upgrades AMD's rating to A1. So again, Moody's upgrades AMD's rating to A1. Outlook changes to stable.
I just got stopped over 800. And we immediately failed on the other side. Just took off a little risk to cover stop. See if our 20 can hold or if we flip back through. Probably gonna call it. I mean, yeah, do you, man? Flipped long off of this 890, 800 after getting stopped, but just in runners. Nothing crazy. I mean, I'm probably out of here when Mario hops on pretty soon. So, yeah.
White House's own B. Vaught says that layoffs have begun and the rifts have begun.
Special agent with teaching experience. What does that even mean? I mean, good luck. I don't know why you'd want to work for Cash Patel though. Good luck, my friend.
Hello.
Maybe you're teaching Cash Patel's, you know. Maybe he needs a private tutor. Maybe that's what the role actually is. Yo, what's up?
Hello. What it do?
You know, just huge moves. Trump yapping.
Yep.
China mad. Trump mad. Trump didn't win the
And
Nobel
now we
Prize,
sit.
so now we tank, taking it out on the market. You know, just the usual.
Ugh. Just the usual. What's up, Rory? Hello, Ben. Hello, everyone. Hopefully we have some type of reaction this afternoon. Yesterday was brutal, man. After you left,
Yeah.
holy. Like the afternoons over the past like month or so have been giving like one or two like fine rotations, just this like patience. But this week it's just been untradeable. It's like one thing offered.
Yeah, after I stayed Monday and it was miserable, I was like, oh, okay, we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, it's this week is like the last, like I said, the last handful of weeks have been just fine. Like
Yeah.
it's chill. It's like patient trading, but this week is like not it, man. Not it.
And I mean, maybe you get continuation, but a lot of this original move was just liquidation. That was pretty clear. But we got at least a little bit of follow through, but I just don't know. I'll have to look at your structure post. Are we near anything important?
Yeah, we made the full rotation.
Yeah.
So
So I think that could be it. There's a lot of
I
potential.
would like to see us go lower on this, like, honestly, but
I just don't know if
this
it happens
is
today or if it happens
no.
overnight and then we miss the move, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo. This post is crazy. Oh, Lord. Is he playing Battlefield with the New World update? Are you crazy?
I'll probably play some Battlefield.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, I did pretty much ready for New World.
Oh, I guess you already have your characters, so it doesn't matter.
What I need is a Rory to log on so I can mule stuff between them. Because I'm not gonna ask old Willy boy to do that for me. That's not that mean.
So can you confirm that our old characters are still there? They're just on a legacy server? Is that true?
They shouldn't even be on a legacy server. They should just be there.
And
And
what?
then you can transfer them to a new one, to one of the new servers.
So why do you want us to make new characters? What's the point?
Just because like everything that's on them is so outdated that like you would actually be starting at further progression with a new character.
Like I couldn't just
Um,
buy stuff from shop with all the gold that I have?
I mean, well, maybe.
Like I'm not trying to level up another character, but if I can log in and then just RMT new items to then do dungeons with you guys and then level up from that, I would much rather do that time-wise.
Well, you know how they are with the bind on equip mechanic
Yeah.
BS. So like when I say maybe, it's like
AstraZeneca
you could
striking
probably get
deal
your
with White
gear
House on drug
score up,
prices,
but like
according to
would it
MSNBC.
be
So Trump to announce deal with AstraZeneca today.
maybe? I don't know.
His announcement at 5 p.m.
There's definitely stuff that you could, but like how much it costs is, and it might go cheap because gear score is raising on this expansion and stuff.
Hmm.
Obviously, and new mats and stuff. You know, the classics. So
Okay. Well, I mean, let me know because that'll probably be the only way I play. I don't have time
yeah,
to
I mean,
level
you
up.
can try. Like, I think it'd be worth trying.
As long as I have the ability to buy gear to get into first dungeon so that I can then grind that dungeon for gear, I'm good.
Yeah. Well, that's like, so this update is it's all PvE endgame stuff, like the entire thing. And I think you guys would like last year's raid too, but there's a new raid, and then the big thing is there's like this roguelike dungeon now. It's 3-player only. But it's like an extraction thing where you keep like it's all procedural, so it should all be different every
So AstraZeneca
time.
deal
We'll see.
includes $50 billion commitment in the US.
But then like you just keep pushing and then you extract whenever you want. Obviously like deeper levels you get better stuff. And so we'll see how it is.
Yeah.
But new raid and stuff and
All
all the
right.
old
Well, I mean
dungeons got revamped.
that's much better than what I thought it would be. We'll see if I can just like buy with gold. That'll be better. I just have like 0 time right.
Yeah.
I was
Well, the main
scared that like I was gonna you guys are gonna like we're making new characters and then like 2 days later I'm now leveling by myself and you're all in dungeons.
no.
U.S. economy e-commerce website removing millions of prohibited Chinese electronic items
I
from
don't know, bro. You got
businesses
to
like
check, dude.
Huawei, according to Federal Communications Commission chair.
And yeah, I don't know what server you can put it on. If you can, I think you should be able to go to any place, but I don't know. All of the last year's update was a full leveling revamp, so it's like less than half of what it used to be. Like they do seasonal servers now and stuff. Like leveling is very streamlined, but
What
and
was
it's
it, like
actually good now.
50 hours
According to
before to
Punchbowl,
level?
they
What
say
was it,
federal
like 30
layoffs are
hours?
substantial.
More than that, you
50?
can do it in
Again,
15 now,
Punchbowl
no
says federal
problem.
layoffs are substantial. Federal layoffs
You
won't
literally
hit
just do the
every
main story,
agency.
and you're there. You're done.
Later, Ben.
And it's like there's actually like cutscenes and like there's a story now and like everything got reanimated and like it's very different in a good way. Oh yeah, this was before, but the new game director is good. I played a bunch of the new like OPR and maps last night and they were good.
How many new maps?
2, and then there's Capture the Flag, which is 3 maps that are different, and there's more 3v3 maps. It's in a pretty good state.
I mean, it sounds like there's content. Good. Is there any balanced PvP or no?
What do you mean?
Like not gear dependent?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
it's like rotating, but there's like a bare bones mode where like nobody has gear.
Yeah, that's great.
But I mean, this was probably before you quit too, but there's like there are PvP specific perks, but that's not like it's not how it was. Like no, there's no PvP like damage resist perks.
Gotcha.
That's like
According to BFM TV, new French Prime Minister will be appointed at around 8 p.m. local time.
like everything's getting revamped. Like so like all gear perks. There's like socketable items now where you like socket perks in instead of gems. So like it's gonna be very different. So I have no idea
Gotcha.
how it's gonna be. It was so funny last night. I
According
logged
to
on and I just
Wall
like
Street Journal,
got
investment
into an
of Denmark
OPR.
spent $8.5 billion on new ships and aircrafts. According to officials, investment is meant to stave off Trump's threat to take over Greenland.
And like the first person I ran into was somebody in my old big war company who owns like half the server, and I just like oh my god, Dapper's back, and just like instantly got me in. It's like
Huge.
the rich get richer.
Yeah.
The rich get richer.
That's crazy that you just like randomly were on the server that they're on.
Well, they've condensed everything now, so it
Okay.
was like a 50-50 shot that I
Gotcha.
picked the right server.
So we have posted out that piece from the Wall Street Journal on the feed for you to read through. Again, Denmark is to spend $8.5 billion on weapons to dampen Trump's Greenland enthusiasm.
Full rotation here off of our failure at our highs, 790 holding, push to 60s, flip of 60s, rotation to our 715, 30. Just your full NQ rotation. We'll look to see if we can push below the 715, 730 for our secondary moves. But so far, sell side in control at our highs, rotation back down to our bid. This is our value low from our wick low, right? From that candle. Watch to see if this can flip or not. I think if 15 to 30 flips and holds offer, we trade to 640. We have 50 seconds until new 15s. But there's a great
So in
risk
regards
off.
to when
Bottom
the
of range
new
here on
Prime
NQ.
Minister will be selected or elected will be at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So 8 p.m. local time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time is when the new French Prime Minister will be announced. White House official now confirming what was more or less said by the Punch Bowl reporter that federal layoffs will be in the thousands. According to Axios, Trump plans Gaza summit next week in Egypt.
So confused as to why are we building a Qatari Air Force base in Idaho?
So Nvidia can invest 10%
Wait,
into it, and then
like what?
OpenAI can invest 10% into it.
I don't understand why we need a Qatari Air Force. Does any other country have an Air Force base in the United States?
Mm, that's a good question.
I
That's
don't
like
think
specific to
so.
them? Probably
Yeah.
not. That is a weird dynamic because we have them everywhere, you know?
Yes.
I'm sure I wouldn't be surprised if there's like German or something. I know like I don't know if there's like a specific one. Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, and I know like we'll like house a lot for training, but it's not like their base, you know what I mean? Like
Okay, so this is what AI said, but I'll have to look back into it. So you were right about Germany. Good point. I don't know if it's a
yeah.
shared base, but Italy, Netherlands, Singapore. So these are like our allies.
So we
Yeah,
have
well that's
posted out
Uh,
that
it
article
makes
on
sense
feed
that
again from
Germany like
Axios.
has
Trump
something,
is
but
to plan a Gaza summit next week in Egypt. It also
and
says
even the
he's
UK.
travel to Egypt Monday afternoon, and he's going to be arriving in Israel Monday morning. So Monday morning, Israel, afternoon
Yeah,
in
that makes
Egypt.
sense too, Surf. Like it's just different. It might be different language for the same thing, but
Failure at our 760 off of our bid at 715, 730. Watching for our offer below now. This is ES into our low as well at 660. Our value low of that pivot. I think that if this fails to hold, we'll rotate down into this liquidity pocket that we've got at 40 to 47 on ES.
Yeah. We need this under 50.
Watching to see what we do here. We'd ideally get Russell to lead and not double bottom here if we're going to go down. Rejection of our value edge was good, but I'd like to see follow through for an actual new low. Without RTY, I just don't know if we get it. But we are below pivots on NQ and ES, so playing accordingly.
According to U.S. Government Employees Union, lawsuit has been filed. Again, U.S. Government Employees Union says lawsuit has been filed. So, a reminder at the top of the hour, we're expecting to hear from Fed Musalem speaking at the Springfield Area Chamber of Commerce. Fed Musalem speaks in a fireside chat about the U.S. economy and monetary policy. No text is expected. There is a Q&A, and we've been looking for a live feed for a while, but there is no live feed.
I'm gonna take off my first run NQ. I'd like the full move into 640, but Oh shoot, I actually I do have to go. I forgot I'm supposed to
So we have posted
install.
out the article from MSNBC again. Trump strikes drug pricing deal with pharma giant AstraZeneca. That is on the feed for you to read through.
Damn.
And that's going to be his announcement later on at 5 p.m. Eastern time. It's also just been confirmed by the White House as well.
Time to set a stop for us to tag.
Yeah.
So AstraZeneca shares quickly erase gain, falling 1.4%.
I think I'm gonna put my PT really ambitiously low, down at like 400, 350 on this, just in case. And then I'm just gonna put my stop at 730 for me to get stopped out while I'm away.
Yep.
I bought my dad a NVIDIA Shield, and he wants me to set up
Oh.
Streamio, so I'm gonna do that. Well, he's on his lunch break right now. Ambitious? Oh, a good day. I'm risking what, $300 to make 2,000?
A lot of math for Rory.
3,000 on my runners. Oh.
Huge and massive. Holy.
I mean, I'm gonna get stopped out as soon as I walk away, bro. So just that's what I'm looking at. All right. You guys have a great weekend. Goodbye. I will see you Monday.
Enjoy.
Peace, love, happiness. Bye.